Hello, my name's Daniela, and the nurse point person was Janelle. If you want to introduce yourself, I think she was here. She might not be here anymore.
Hello. Yeah.
And then Sarah was the nursing student. So for research, so we used the articles that was sent to the shared drive, and they found there were some studies that found that emotional exhaustion and depersonalization can lead to burnout and decreased patient care, as well as absenteeism can affect the rest of the unit. And so whenever you see the little like color coded thing, those are showing where this piece of research which was used in implementing the design. So lower stress may improve levels of burnout, and mindfulness meditation is very helpful. It can bring a nurse back into the present, and it can decrease self-judgment and over-identification with experience. Using restorative spaces for short times resulted in less stress in one study. And of course, it's very important for coworkers to support each other in using these spaces. If they feel comfortable using the space from other coworkers, then they'll be more likely to use the space. And of course, nature reduces stress and anxiety. So the concept was moments of rest, and it's a series of stations around the hospital that aims to encourage nurses to break away from their daily stress and to care for all their aspects of their health. This walk around the hospital can be done all together, or it can be a separate experience. So like one station can be one day, another station can be another day, because I know nurses might not have that much time to go and walk around the whole hospital. So depending on which aspect the nurses want to focus on, the stations can include the body, the spirit, the mind, and nature, and these will go into more detail later. The other idea was that private alcoves can be scattered around the hospital for easy access. These can be used if a nurse needs just a very quick 5 minutes of private to kind of re-stabilize, or if they need to take a phone call, anything like that. And so Janelle sent me a few ideas where these spaces could be, since this isn't like a set in stone kind of this is where this has to be. So there's some photos here, Janelle, if you want to like kind of walk that through, because you're more familiar with the hospital than I am.
Yeah, so we have a chapel down on the ground floor. I don't think anybody ever really uses that, so it's pretty empty most of the time we walk by. And then there's a vending machine like area right outside the cafeteria that actually the door to go outside is actually right there as well. And there's a lot of junk food in there. And then, I mean, there's obviously the main lobby where even the little coffee shops over there, a lot of people sit there and drink their coffees over there. And then there's like a little hidden area near the parking garage when you first come in, that little cubby area there.
So those are just some ideas where these could be. And then once we go down, there's this little sketch that kind of shows the idea where it could be like a loop where you could hit either all of them in a row or one-on-one. So the first one would be body. And this station is meant to care for your physical needs. So there can be some massage chairs, a face washing and hand washing station, and like some other miscellaneous self-care items. And the massage chairs could be like acoustically private with like curtains and things. And depending on the space, again, all of this could be changed how exactly it's implemented, but it's just an idea to get us started. And then this could be placed in the chapel along with the spirit. So next would be spirit. And the idea for this was a wall height bookshelf that will visually and acoustically separate the station. And then if you go, it's kind of like a secret area where if you go behind, there's some bean bags, there'll be some yoga mats, diffusers, maybe a noise machine, somewhere that very physically separates you from the rest of the hospital. And here where mindfulness was shown that it's good for you, and it's it can help with stress. So this can be somewhere where you could practice mindfulness, or you can read a book, pray, anything that might be helpful for you in your spirit. So next would be the mind. And the thought process with that was that it would be activities that kind of take your mind off of your daily activities. So for example, painting or adult coloring books, I know were like a craze at some point. So maybe something like that. And Janelle brought up the idea that this could be near like the piano, since sometimes volunteers come in and play the piano for visitors. So the music could be very therapeutic. And it would just be kind of like a table and chairs with a cubby that held all the supplies, and it could be, just like painting or anything like that. That could be helpful or fun. So, oh man, let's do, okay, nature, so you can kind of see all of it. So this one would include a coffee bar slash cabinet right before you go outside. And I know that there's a park nearby. It might be realistic to have like kind of a marked pathway to the park so you can kind of visit, see all the trees, the plants, and then come back. Because I know Janelle was saying that the nurses do take walks outside. And maybe if there was a marked path to the park, they would be more inclined to go to the park rather than just around the building. And so, of course, coffee is a necessity. So you can like go on a walk with a cup of coffee. And also Janelle brought up the idea of a QR code at the stand, maybe with a book or a playlist that could give the nurse something to listen to while they're walking. So that would be the like bulk of it. And then the little alcove, something like this, can be scattered around so that they're very accessible, acoustically private. This is a custom build out of one, but there's also ones that you can buy just already pre-made, and you could just kind of put it in a corner. It's out of the way and it's very accessible. And so that would be the bulk of it. And I'm happy to take any comments or questions.
Hi, me again. So great job. I was actually really looking forward to seeing what was going to come out of this group because I was kind of, hitting a roadblock myself. Janelle, you definitely did a great job identifying the potential spaces because, yeah, I can see that would work in the spaces that you identified. And I really like the idea of like creating a walk, a walk, it's like a trail map, a walking map, because a lot of people now until, the fall, they actually do spend their lunch breaks walking outside. And I like that you can, take a cup of coffee or tea, and then, it would be cool to like, scan the QR code, and that could be like a playlist or a book or something that it's like quick, like 15 minutes that you can like listen to while you're walking. That's great too. Awesome job. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Daniela. I like this one too because it has such a diversity. I like them all, for different reasons, but this one I could see little nooks and crannies for different moments that, maybe you hit one or maybe you hit them all. Very cool.
Right.
Okay, I think we have one more presentation. Let me just double